The march
St. John's,
Williams Lake,
your Legacy, Lana's Mine,
100 Mile House,
Grand Falls,
Vancouver Island, Victoria, and in the North Vancouver Island.
Puis le lendemain, c'était la réserve à Big Hope, Miramichi, Bathurst, Tracadie, Bathurst, Hamilton.
In May 1996, two caravans left for Ottawa, one from Vancouver and the other from St. John's, Newfoundland. They traveled through more than 80 communities to gather at the tent city and a rally on Parliament Hill.
Bravo à toutes les femmes du Québec.
Bravo to all women in Quebec. We love you, and we are in solidarity with you this weekend, with your vigil. This message is from the Canadian Labour Movement and also from all women from the Canadian Labour Congress.
You know, we really have to do this. I have two sons. I have to do it for them. I have to teach them that they can do it. And it's great to see so many kids here today because they're not going to grow up thinking they can't do anything. They're going to know that they have the power. And the power that's in this room tonight is incredible. Thank you very much.
The idea was no matter how big or how small we were going to go, and the smallest possible thing would be we'd fill up my station wagon with books and just go until we ran out of gas. And the best possible idea was we'd get a 16-foot cube van from Diana Kilmurray and get 4,000 books and go across Canada. So that's how it happened. And we sort of decided failure was not an option.
When you stand up and speak, you're appointed by a man with a finger. You're no good. That's why I'm with this march now.
And how about you?
I'll follow with her. Yeah, same question I had.
Yeah. So has there been a march like this before in Big Cove? No.
Some women don't even know that there is a status of women.
Women's poverty is unacceptable in this country.
I am a woman and I live in poverty and I have children. And I want my children to have a future. And in order for them to have a future, I must speak out loud and clear. I must encourage government. I must force government to listen and to hear what I have to say.
Well, I'm with my son, and I hope he's going to get the vibes of the feminist vibration, and that he's going to become a good man for whatever he's going to do, like when he's become a man.
This march is to help the people who are discouraged, that don't have a job right now, to not just lose faith. You know, there's a lot of things they can still hope for, and not to lose their faith right now.
It says so we can rest. We shouldn't have to fight all the time to survive. There are other ways. There are enough things. It's a question of sharing. There is abundance, but there are barriers. I think it's only a matter of sharing the wealth.
Sisters and brothers, the song is really true. We fight for bread, but we fight for roses too. And in 1996, we continue to fight for jobs and justice and equality and dignity and respect for everyone in our community. Thank you.
And what our governments around the world seem to be doing is following a neoconservative agenda that is pushed by the multinational corporations that want free trade agreements, they want cheap labor.
and there's a cultural war against people who are poor. As women, we fought hard to stop being blamed for rape. But where is the outrage when a politician blames the poor for poverty? But mainly poor people are angry because our lives are falling apart.
There is a battle, a war on equality taking place in this country today in the name of deficit reduction. But there isn't an absence of resources, there is obscene wealth in segments of Canadian society.
Because I'm 42 years old, after 13 years I've been booted out of the nursing home through downsizing. I'm sick and tired of changing careers. I mean, I've been a taxi driver, I've been a building superintendent, I've been a secretary, I've been a healthcare worker, I've been a union leader. I'm just sick of this. I should be able to take it easy sometime soon, you know? But now what's happened is I've gone through UIC and now I'm on income assistance. And I never thought I'd see this day in my life.
Marching in the beauty of the day, a million dark and
For the last 17 years now, 17 years, it's a shelter.
During all those years, over 3,000 women and children have been through the shelter.
singing, bread and roses, bread and
Some of you know who I am already. My name is Leila Bassetti. I was one of those people that sat in a room when the Calgary Regional Health Authority told us that we were no longer of any value to them. We had sacrificed a lot, $2 of our pay. A lot of those women couldn't even make enough money to feed their children. That day there were 51 people at work, 50 people left 5 minutes after the Calgary Regional Health Authority left. And to this day, not one of them will have anybody from management push them around. And I know when I went around the province yesterday, people were saying, "You're our heroes." We don't feel like heroes. We only did what we had to do because we have to feed our children. Thank you very much.
Just like the theme song, Bread and Roses, Jobs and Justice, under the demands for jobs, we are asking for real job creation. We are asking that the minimum wage be raised to $7.85 immediately, not in 10 years' time. We want access to federal resources for employment and training.
I hope this will be one of the most enriching experiences. And I'd like to pass on something I read on a button worn by one woman in the caravan. What we want is justice, not charity. Thank you.
Today we have come together, the women's movement and the labor movement, and we bring with us a strength that will change Canadian society, but also will change the world to be a much, much better place. As we go together on this march, we are giving to the world the vision that we have. So join us today, but also in Ottawa when the march gets there. Thank you.
I think it's healthy, mentally healthy to be mad at something at one point, and I'm bloody mad. And I think my madness is healthy. And I wanted people to know that. You have good reason to be mad. Oh yes. Oh yes.
These past 3 months were very hard for me. You see, I lost my brother. My children lost their father because they killed themselves the same way. Neither one of them had a job. My brother, he did not want to go on welfare. The father of my children was trapped in welfare. He didn't get any more help. They saw themselves with no place to go, so they gave up on life.
ทางบริษัทเขาจัดให้เงินก้อนหนึ่งแค่7,000 กว่าบาทเนี่ยมาขอบอกว่าเนี่ยขอเงินค่าทำศพลูก
The employers said there were 180 workers who died in the fire, but I think there were more than that. 300 to 400 because we could see the body parts scattered around that couldn't be identified. The parents were given very little compensation for the lives of their daughters.
We were chained to the parliament. We are now breaking out.
We don't want to see greed and hatred promoted in our society. We don't want to see racism and homophobia turn us against each other. We want our Aboriginal sisters to live their lives with social justice and with equality. And we want to see women with disabilities enjoy all the opportunities that are their human right in this country. We are sick and tired of governments blaming people living in poverty for their poverty. If there is any shame, if there is any blame to poverty, it lies at the feet of our governments.
Wonderful to be in Brantford. I don't know why I still cry when I walk in a hall and hear Bread and Roses. Maybe because that last verse is what we've been asking for.
Thank you, sisters. Sisters and brothers, consoeurs et confrères. This march is about a vision of equality and justice for all.
We want this government to declare war on poverty, not on the poor. And let me say to the thousands who are here today, you are representing the tens of thousands, the hundreds of thousands who marched in communities from coast to coast to coast. And every chant and every applause and every step you make, you're doing it for 100 more women. You want to know the numbers on Parliament Hill today? More than 1 million. Pay attention, Liberals. We're here and we're not going away.
We would like to pay tribute to all the women who participated in the first National Women's March Against Poverty in 1996. Women continue to fight for the changes demanded that year. Women march for good jobs, higher minimum wage, an end to the head tax on new immigrants, a Canadian Social Security Act, and support programs for people with disabilities. Women demand access to public health care, old age security, post-secondary education, social housing, and unemployment insurance. Women fight for childcare, gay and lesbian rights, job and training for Aboriginal women, $50 million for anti-violence shelters, and domestic and foreign policies to end women's poverty.